Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 6TP Stillness and Wellness Club. Today is day 29. My name is Lawrence KORET, and we are going to be participating in the stillness path, one of the first paths this morning. So we're going to start by doing a hypnosis session that I've customized using ocean sounds and relaxation. So we're going to go start with that, and it's about 3 minutes long. So just relax, enjoy. You can close your eyes and listen and participate. Thank you.
Go ahead and close your eyes. Take a breath in and let it go. Good. You don't need to do anything right now. Just breathe and let the sound of the water do the rest. Feel your body start to settle. With every breath out, you get a little heavier, a little more at ease. I'm going to count down from 10 to 1. With each number, just let yourself go a little deeper. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go. Picture yourself at the edge of the ocean. The water is warm. The air is still. And this place is yours. Every wave that comes in brings calm. Every wave that goes out takes something with it. Tension, noise, whatever you've been carrying. You're safe here, completely supported. Just rest. Okay, I'm going to bring you back now. Nice and easy. Counting up from 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a breath, open your eyes when you're ready, and welcome back.
Good morning, everyone. So if that was nice and relaxing, got you a little more centered, relaxed, and peaceful, and wanted to see if you have some water with you, let's take a sip now and just get some hydration.
Laurie, good morning, Lawrence. While you do that, may I introduce my pastor's daughter, Nicole Morgan,
Go for it.
who came to prayer today. And I said, well, since you're up, why don't you just come to our club? She lit up prayer today. So if you want to hear a great segment, check it out. And none of it was rehearsed. I didn't even know she was coming. So that's the way that the Spirit works. Nicole, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Nicole. Good morning. Nice to meet you all.
Good
Nice
morning.
meeting you, Nicole.
Howdy. Nice to
Well,
have you here. Welcome.
you already know you don't require one introduction.
Yeah, great. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. You're going to get to see some of the different things that we do. And that was one of the things, one of the paths. So that's the stillness path. Um, some people do that by doing meditation. Some people do that by doing different things. One of the things I enjoy doing is hypnosis. So I made a track using AI and working with myself to be able to craft that. I've changed it a little bit from the one I had before. It had some binaural beats in it that go between your ears if you have headphones on and stuff. But I figured whenever I'm here, the only person I ever see with headphones on is me. So I took that part out and changed it. Just has the you know, the ocean sounds. So I'll keep modifying and work on changing it, updating it and tweaking it a little bit. But a little bit of a change just to see if you know, how it works for people. All right, so now I just want to see anyone else have anything to add this morning before we go into our next path. Okay, no, good. Okay. Uh, let me pull up the next thing that I have. And I'll still loading. Okay. So now I'm going to share with you another thing that I made. This is we done something similar before, but there weren't any visuals with this. So what I made was a cold shower simulator. So this will let you pretend like you're taking a cold shower. This is on the sport passionate path. So we're going to pretend like we're taking a cold shower now without actually getting wet. We're just doing this all visually and mentally. So I want you to get ready and we're going to pretend like we're going to go take a hot shower and then we're going to turn the shower cold. So this lasts for about 25 seconds because we're going to do a 10-second countdown when we're in the shower, in it hot, and then turning it cold. And then it's going to be a cold shower for 15 seconds and then we're going to get out. So there is some sound effects with this. So you should be able to hear those. Okay. And here we go. Turning the shower cold now. There's some, it froze a little bit. So here we
So Lawrence left, so we live. And we're gonna welcome everybody that is here. So we are in 60p Stillness and Wellness Club every day at any specific day of specific hour of the day. We just meet to do your 60p. Usually we start with a meditation, so stillness process. That's the first things we do. Wherever you are, for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, you start with stillness. Then you go into your scaling dreamer. Yeah, we have a process to start with our biggest dream. It have to be an impossible dream, something that everybody know. Oh my God, are you gonna do that? Are you gonna accomplish that? So on the scaling dreams, whatever dream you have in your life. In our case, the team put together the scaling dream for December 31st. We're gonna make $1 million. Okay, so we got Lawrence back. Okay, Lawrence, take it from him.
Okay. It looks like we had some technical challenges, so we're going to try this once more.
Okay.
And we're going to do it once more. So, again, this is the shower simulator. So it's going to be pretending we're taking a hot shower, turning the temperature down after 10 seconds, and then staying in the cold for 15 seconds. It's going to tell us when to inhale and exhale. Here we go once more. Okay, we've completed our cold shower simulation. So what do you guys think about that when it worked?
I think the prompts are great. I think it helps you to exhale, inhale, goes through the motion if you've never done it before. Those prompts are great.
Okay. I'm going to work on getting some more visuals in there next time, which is what I was trying to get it to do a little bit, to have a little more video. So we'll see where it goes next time. I mean, I thought another way of doing it was actually have me hop in the shower, but I figure that's a lot more challenging. And this is more repeatable. So, um, so this is first attempt, and this is using Claude and just prompting it with what I wanted to do. I wanted to simulate taking a cold shower, and it was literally one prompt. So it's pretty amazing what this can do. I think it shows, though, that if you're clear as to what you want to define, have it do, it can do it easily. So if you're not sure or can't explain it, it's not going to work well. But if you're able to succinctly explain what you're looking for, it can accomplish that. So um, that's an interesting experience there. All right. So that's the sport passionate path, and part of something I'm going to incorporate into the cold plunge work that I'm doing with folks. So I hope that you all enjoyed and got to learn and see some of that. Anyone else have anything they want to add about the sports passionate path, things they're working towards? Any training goals that people have they're working on?
I just want to thank my dance partner, Rosaura. It was so nice to twirl with you in the little salsa song that we sent out to everyone dancing together. And I also just wanted to take a quick second to say thank you to the Dominican Cultural and Civic Center who let Rosaura and I come and do 6TP in Spanish yesterday. We had a really good time with those ladies, and it sounds like they're going to be interested in doing more stuff with us. I think we're going to have a decent turnout tomorrow. I think us Spanish speakers have to make sure that we tap them on the shoulder again today and remind them of tomorrow. But it was nice. They really enjoyed the video of Rosada and I dancing, even though we had some technical difficulties, but it was a good show. So
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Victor, for adding that. And, you know, this cold plunger is also a very good exercise for sport passionate. It could include a lot of visualization, your breathing, and if it's taking place in actuality, it may have some slight swimming. So, as we said, the sport passionate, you can do sport anywhere and anytime and in a variety of ways. And what is a sport for some is also different for others. So I enjoy this because it shows us that just by moving our body, any part of our body, we are exercising. Thank you so much for that, Lance.
I think I would also add, Lawrence, you might want to add. Um, so the exact opposite of the whole shower thing that we do, right? Where we write the message on the glass pane, right? You can say, what shock thoughts did anyone have? Did you have any sobering thoughts? Did you have, what did this
Mhm.
provoke in your heart, right? You can add that to your arsenal.
Okay. Yeah, totally. I think that's great. Um, yeah, so some more guidance. I'm going to make it a little bit longer, probably too. But I think 15 seconds is a good start. That's usually where I start with when you're going to start doing this. Otherwise, if you're going to 30 seconds or a minute, it's just too long. It's too much. So 15 seconds is a good start. So this will be the very beginning, and then there'll be longer ones as we keep doing it and get in more practice as well. Great. Okay, I'm just trying to pull up the different all the different paths that we have, or not paths, I'm sorry, levels that we have. Okay, and here we go. So the different levels that we have in the 6TP group, there is the foundation path that is $99 a month, and that gives you a 6TP live session, the school community weekly challenges, accountability, community discussions, and resource library. Let me share the screen so other people can see this. And it's kind of. Does anyone else have it on their screen that we could share with?
You want the tiers?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
My computer is misbehaving.
Think this is a good opportunity to share about our website, our wonderful website that we've all put so much thought and love into. You can learn more about our club at any point in time by going to 6tpswclub.com. And in a few seconds, we'll see the different tiers that are also listed there.
Yeah, and also we live. So Lawrence is live. You can go if you go to the whole application. You already have our chat. We have the calendar every day. You can check the member. You can also check where we are. And officially yesterday they charged them 99. So we are on live now. So we have also a, slideshow that people can see uh, what we do. It's the one I think the one in Spanish I put right there. And then I defined more. I use the best copy, and I just describe it myself. So it's completely live now, and you move as you participate. So far, leadership Rosaura is ahead. Then Victor. Leadership in the seven days is Rosaura, Victor. 3 days, Victor, Rosaura, all time Victor and Rosaura. So we can see who is getting in. So make sure you go back and then you can go make a comment right here. You put the title, you write, you get the file, add a video if you want to. Like those posts, instead of putting those posts on the chat, that's gonna be only for us. You come here and put the events that you had yesterday, supposed to be put there. The video that you the post telling everything that happened yesterday will be amazing because people then will know. So use the school now. Write something and then you post. The whole story that happened in the year, what was important, and things like that. Come back and use and you can use this one. All right. So Lawrence.
Great. So the next tier we have after the foundation tier, because that's the one I read, is the ascent tier. Can someone else volunteer to read that one?
Sure,
Okay.
I can do that.
Thanks, Victor.
So the ascent here is about rising with structure, and structure turns effort into results. For $199, it includes everything in our first tier. And what you get here is you get weekly small group consulting, you get a monthly hot seat session, and boy, can that hot seat be hot because we know that we need that. We need that when we're not doing what we're supposed to. We need somebody to hold us accountable and let us know that, we're not buying it. Your effort is not meeting what you said you were going to do, and you're not doing this for us. You're doing this for yourself, and we make sure that you stay the course. You also get performance tracking systems, and you get priority support and access because here, structure creates results, consistency creates identity.
Awesome.
Wow, I'll be happy to read the tier three, Lawrence.
Thank you.
And that is the alchemy. It transform at depth. So the transformation continue, but very deeply. Change the inner architecture of your life. And for $9.99 a month, you have a high level transportation for serious operators and leaders. And it includes everything in tier one and two. But it also have direct access to leadership, weekly closed mastermind, psychoanalytic deep work, and life and business design. Identity shifts permanently. Transformations become your standards. And that's the alchemy. Tier three.
Tier
Thank
4,
you.
it's legacy, and we have I have to go and check it out, change it, but it's 15,000 for group of 5, family, institution, school. You can use the tier leads, multiply impact. This is for leaders, executives, and organizations ready to create a lasting impact. Private intensive and strategic advisory, corporate PHM program, clinical supervisions, leaderships development, exclusive retreats, and high level access, proximity to power, and accelerates everything. So you start with $9.99 by yourself anytime, but if you want to be part of the group of Discovery Sundays, you go to 199. If you're not gonna have lifetime coaching and psychotherapy with a licensed professionals, come with not one 999. And if you're gonna bring your group completely, everyone involved, go to 5,000, 15,000 per month. That's the way you get your 60 Stillness Wellness Club, and that's the way you take your pill every day. Rise with us, stay with us, go beyond your goal. Lawrence. Are you there, Lawrence? So we are in 60p.
Thank you so
Go
much.
ahead.
So those are the 4 different, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. So those are the 4 different levels that we have in the group. So pick the one that works for you, and you can also move up and change the level you're at too. If you decide you want to have, if you started at the very basic one and you want to move up, you're welcome to do that. So thank you for joining us and getting to hear about the different levels that we have. And I would like to see if we can talk about the authorship path next. So what I'm working towards in the authorship path is a book about AI and how to use that for your IT department. And that's getting started, building an outline for that and getting that moving forward. And I wanted to see how other people's books are coming and just check in with folks and see how that's going for folks. So do you have any updates for us, Gregory, about how yours is coming so far?
Yes, executing authorship and writing minimum 5 minutes every day. And I am into writing chapter 1 and excited about where it's going. I like the rhythm and I can't wait to finish the next couple of chapters. So thank you so much for the encouragement. Thank you for pressing us to do something every day. And before you know it, the book will be done.
Awesome. Are you using any tools to help you? Are you using AI to give you a hand with any of this to
Yes, Claude is my best friend,
do
but
an outline, or are you writing it all manually?
right now I'm just writing and getting the thoughts and ideas down, and I will use some tools later to organize. But I did have a vision and a roadmap and chapters, and I did use Claude to help me to make sure that it was going to be a sync and focused message. But right now I have so many ideas, just writing it down.
Great. Okay. I just want to check in so we can show other people the process that's involved and how they can use different things. Some people would like to just write and just with a yellow pad and just do it manually, and other people want to use tech to help them. So just want to share to be able to teach people different ways how this can be done. So thank you.
And that's amazing because I'm thankful for you sharing that. Because sometimes you may have a thought 2 o'clock in the morning, and you can either grab a piece of paper or grab your phone and say, "Hey, this is an idea I want to work on tomorrow." Sometimes you are in transition, and you have a great idea, and you could just record it and then say, "Please transcribe it later." So there's many opportunities we have throughout our day to capture some ideas and thoughts, and we just have to be creative. Thank you for encouraging us, the Golden Boy, to be creative on like, hey, I'm not at my desk, I don't have a piece of paper. Let me hit record on my phone, and tomorrow when I'm at my desk and writing, I could listen to it and say, okay, what ideas and thoughts can I elaborate on? So, technology, thank you for sharing, is our friend, and wherever you are, it's probably easier 2 o'clock in the morning, grab your phone and say, remember this idea, hit record, hit stop, and then tomorrow play it, versus finding a piece of paper, finding a pen and writing it down. So there's lots of opportunities. Thanks for the encouragement, brother.
No problem. You can use the voice memo record feature on your phone to do that sort of thing. Or you can also use, if you just have the Notes app, you can type something into the Notes app. If you don't even want to use your voice, you can do that and have it transcribe it for you, whatever you want to do. or you can just use a piece of paper and a pen. So all different sorts of ways. So how about you, Victor? How is Sir Persevere's book coming along?
I have to stay focused because, Greg posted something on school that I completely relate to. He says, whenever you get thoughts, write them down, right? And that's me. It's like I blink and that's a book.
Hmm.
Right. I'm just loaded with ideas. And so, in order to be able to focus on the book that I am writing, which is The Tales of Sir Persevere, I have to make sure that I kill that noise by gently, when I get ideas, I take the idea, I write what I was thinking in that moment so that I can remind myself to come back to that idea, and I just keep it in my notes on my iPhone. But if you go to my iPhone, you will find at least 10 different things that I could possibly write a book about. Like right now, I've got this camaraderie with so I'm focused on publishing my audiobook by the end of this month. That's the book on, that's an audiobook about 30 days scaling in the Lord. I'm writing my Sir Persevere, Tales of Sir Persevere. When I'm losing, I'm just starting to win. That's a book about helping people be better, stronger physically and mentally through my life stories. And I've got a restaurant book called Enough is Enough that I'm going to put out in the spring of next year, and that's supposed to be to teach people about the failures that I had in my restaurant and how to not repeat those mistakes for ultimate success. And I've got this fantasy football group that we've been having a team, a group for like now almost 20 years. And all we do is go back and forth at each other. And we've had so many stories along the way. And I'm thinking that maybe I could write a book about those stories and about fantasy football. So it's just like, it's like great. That's a great idea. Write it down, put it away, and store it so that you don't distract yourself, right? But yeah, there it is. I feel passionate for that already.
Awesome.
You're only
Um,
one thought away from a great book.
exactly. Exactly. Thanks for sharing, Victor. Appreciate that. How about yours, Zara? Do you have anything to share with progress for yourself?
Sure, sure. There are many ways then of collecting information and gathering the data. I use sticky notes because I'm less technological. So some of us are high in technologies, some of us are low, some of us don't have no skills. But it doesn't matter what you do. You write a word, you put it in a sticky, you write a word, a sentence, a phrase on a paper. Um, when you gather an information, you never knows what is going to trigger your memory to remember some of the events. Everyone that has a story has a books, and there's so many parts of that stories that when you are writing for a book, you have to decide which part to include and which part not to include. So for me, what works better is using some sticky papers and I write down notes as they come up. Um, as funny as it may sound, even if I'm going in a car and I'm taking a drive or something, sometimes I see some things in the environment and it says, this remind me of such and such a thing. Because I want the book to really carry a message to everyone that reads it. I try to make it as real and as factual as possible.
Terrific. Thanks for sharing that. Uh, Dr. Pena, do you want to tell us about progress on, I know you were already have written many books
Yeah, I'm working now on the
and
team.
you're working on more. So
Yeah,
do you want to share any updates for us?
yeah, I'm working on the, let me see, do you hear me? Yeah, I'm working on the memories of the last year Congress. So we have to go back and talk to the publisher and get all the papers and essays and presentations that they did in the 2025 in Madrid. And where is it that we go? Was in Madrid, the Congress, the whole Congress. And as we speak, the president is sending messages to review the papers that they present, so that we can bring the book into the 10th Congress in Madrid, Berlin, and Canary Islands. That's what we're working on. Yesterday, I sent a book of Dr. Reiki for one of the participators of last year and this year, so that also she can be working on presentations on the book of Dr. Reiki books, which is the anthology what we presented last year. So talking to the Dr. Reiki and Kemara, the president, to make sure that everybody, if they have any things to add or to change in the presentations, and also to send it back again to the publisher so we can have the book for this year.
Terrific. That's a great update. I think now is a great time to go to the scaling book by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. So can we pull that up, and then I'm going to read a section for us, and then we'll talk about it.
I want to add one last thing.
Sure.
That book that we created together here during our stillness exercise, um, we were able to translate that into Spanish yesterday, and we used that for the session with the Dominican Cultural Civic Center, and they really liked the reading. I mean, I think that I gave them the background of the story of how the book came to be, and so we had an active conversation about the book. It was super cool. So now, as we develop a multilingual club, we have a book that we could possibly give away, with new membership, right? And we could do that for Spanish speakers and we could do that for English speakers now. So that's the icing on the cake.
Muy bien.
Perfecto.
Awesome. All right. So here we go. We're going to discuss now the book about scaling by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. And I'm going to read a section, and then we'll see where we go. Consider Tom Brady. He, unlike the other NFL quarterbacks, was far more committed to winning Super Bowls. Of course, it may be assumed that every quarterback is optimizing for winning Super Bowls, but that's not actually true. Most quarterbacks, when you truly dissect it, are optimizing for other things, whether that be money, fame, personal status, etc. Maya Angelou famously advised, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. All you have to do is watch people do to know what they're optimizing for. Their words will often tell you the opposite. Sure, the NFL quarterbacks may all love the game, but they aren't playing the same game. Because Brady was committed to winning as many Super Bowls as possible, he filtered and played the game differently from other quarterbacks. His process and systems were very different. Despite being able to be the highest paid quarterback, he actively chose much lower salary for himself. He did this to enable his team to invest more in the quality of his offensive line, as well as the backup offensive line. Brady knew that to win Super Bowls, an elite offensive line was key. And he also knew that if he, as the quarterback, absorbed a huge percentage of the team's salary cap, they couldn't have a quality backup offensive line as well. He felt that having an incredible backups was essential, because linemen regularly get injured, and an injured lineman can cost you a game or a season. Additionally, because his goal was to win as many Super Bowls as possible, longevity became a part of his process. Far more intensely than perhaps any other quarterbacks, his health and nutrition regime have become mainstream as they enabled him to play at an elite level to age 45. He won his 7th Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at age 43. He fully focused on one goal, winning Super Bowls. His commitment to such a high goal enabled him to play chess while the other quarterbacks and teams played checkers. His high goal produced an extremely high floor. If you weren't serious about winning, you could go play for another team. There wasn't any messing around with Tom. His goals shaped his process, and his process was fundamentally different from other NFL quarterbacks who optimized many things that from his frame shouldn't exist. In the Pulitzer Prize winning book on grand strategy, Dr. John Lewis Gaddis explains that the theory serves practice and practice corrects theory. All of us have a quote theory. That theory is our frame or perception, which is based on our own biases and goals and directly shapes our decisions and actions. Put simply, theory or a thesis is the future you're actively creating. What you believe, why you believe it, the goals you pursue as a result, and the path and process you take. The power of a better future is that if you let it, it allows you to look more honestly and critically at what you're now doing. Though what you're doing now may be good, the bigger future invites you to stop most of that and focus on something better. Benjamin Franklin famously said, "An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure." Putting adequate energy into your frame or goal determines everything that occurs downstream. You'll prevent and save yourself from years or decades of wasted energy by committing to a much higher goal, which will immediately free you from all ineffective paths and processes. Of this, Dr. Stephen Covey explained, it became obvious that if we want to make relatively minor changes in our lives, we can perhaps appropriately focus on our attitudes and behaviors. But if we want to make significant quantum changes, we need to work on our basic paradigms. We can spend weeks, months, even years laboring to try and change our attitudes and behaviors and not even begin to approach the phenomena change that occurs spontaneously when we see things differently. The goal determines the process, what is signal and what is noise. The more effectively you are at framing your future, the more powerful your process will be in the present. This is scientific fact and cannot be denied. So some journal prompts and applications. What's the goal shaping everything you're doing now? Looking honestly and critically at your existing business. Is your system simple or complex? Do you have multiple competing goals or one singular purpose driving everything you're doing? What impossible goal would enable you to simplify your system and focus in the right way? Go to scaling /book 1 and complete the form to evaluate your current readiness to scale. Okay. I think that's a great spot to stop at the end of chapter 1. So who has anything they want to discuss about this? I know we've already come up with our big, hairy, audacious goal for the group is by the end of this year to have $1 million that we've generated through the school group. And anyone else want to share some other aspects of this chapter?
I would like to add thanks for sharing that chapter in the book. And when we've read this book before and we're reading it again, hearing it, reading it again, hearing it, one of the things that is a big takeaway for me is that there's urgency when your time is short. And when you have a lot of time, you procrastinate. But when there's urgency and it needs to get done automatically, you have a different response timeline. And that's so important in the work that we do, that this is urgent, needs to be done today. I don't have tomorrow. I don't have next week. I don't have next month. So that's one of my takeaway from this chapter of when you reduce the amount of time you have, it creates a high level of urgency and it creates action. So thank you, brother Golden Boy, for sharing that.
Welcome.
Golden Boy, as a miserable Jets fan who watched this guy win for so many years, I think 20 years this guy won, right? I just want to go back in history and I want to rewrite one day. I want to rewrite the day that the Jets hurt the starting quarterback for the Patriots, who was not Tom Brady. Tom Brady was the backup. The Jets brutally injured their quarterback and they brought this no-name guy in named Tom Brady in to be the quarterback that day. And all this guy did was win his next 11 games and win the Super Bowl that year, right? Talk about urgency. This guy was drafted, and he was drafted probably as one of those players towards the end of the draft where they were just like, oh my God, what's left here? I gotta draft somebody. Yeah, let's draft Tom Brady, right? They drafted like a no-name, someone who was not a college star, someone who barely, he was basically the backup water boy, to be cruel about it, right, to the starting quarterback for a college team and somehow made it to the NFL. And when he got drafted by the Patriots, he told the owner, you will not regret this decision, right? You will surely benefit from this decision. He's telling the owner of an NFL franchise, right, as a guy who had nothing to really hang his hat on in college, right, that he wasn't going to regret that decision. And I'm sure the owner looked at him and smirked and was like, "Yeah, sure, kid. I've heard that before." And and he backed it up. He backed it up, and in that moment, I'm sure when he got called in to quarterback, which was something that he couldn't possibly foresee, I'm sure he said, this is a very limited opportunity. I am going to seize this opportunity and I'm going to make sure that no one ever forgets who I am. Right. And he got his moment and he relished it and he never gave it back. That quarterback came back several months later and they didn't start him. They kept Tom Brady.
Wow, that goes back to something we used to say, which is shine, shine, shine.
Mhm.
He and that's, I guess that's also, he had a vision. So he was able to share that vision, show people, look, I've been practicing, here's all the stuff I do. If you, I don't know, I've read a lot about his, like, what he eats and his diet and everything. It is intense. Um, he does not ever have junk food. He's very strict with what he eats. He basically follows like a paleo diet mostly, um, where he's eating a lot of meat and different things, and very specific about you know what he needs to fuel his body with, and that to him is very important, as well as getting adequate rest and all that sort of stuff. So I know that a lot of these, well, at that level, some of the folks who are doing it take it extremely seriously, but the level he brings it to is just a whole nother location. So
Yeah, it's
um,
called the TB12 diet, right? Tom Brady 12, right? It's a program that he developed actually later in his career, right?
yeah,
Because when athletes have a shelf life, right? After like your mid to late 30s, you're pretty much over the hill. This guy won a Super Bowl into his 40s. And he actually inspired a bunch of athletes, right, to believe that if you ate properly and you took care of your body the way he did in that TB12 diet, that you could actually play well beyond your shelf life as an athlete.
awesome.
You know that the school has a game. It has a game that goes from 10,000 to a million, and they show it yesterday. This week, the goat. You're a goat if you get $1 million on the school teaching what you love, and it starts with, I think the first it's cover, like a cover, and it's 10,000, something like that. The whole, I think I make a photo, put it right there, but I'm gonna make sure to. And I announce I'm gonna be a goat. I want my goat. So the same, it's like Tom Brady. It's about winning the game of the school, winning the $1 million, and everybody's focused on being the goat. But not only that, it's like you see people who are making $300,000 per month, and almost $1 million, 700 something per month, and everybody is there to win it. So Tony Brady, who only missions is to winning Super Bowls. We want the missions to be winning to be the GOAT. Just winning to be the GOAT. How can we win to be the GOAT and be like Tom Brady in terms the way we do, how what we share, what happened, learning the whole business of bringing the best pill to the world. Imagine people stopping all the pills, all everything that they do, and they just focus on having the meditation, making a lot of money, traveling the world if they want to, publishing book, becoming bestseller, having a specific sport for them to live longer with a nutrition, becoming a thinker, how to pitch their stuff, continuously creating stuff, building stuff to the world. Everybody wants that, but not everybody have the disciplines, the know-how, how to do it every day, and that's the key. You know, because more than ever, we can see what's going to happen. We before we're just waking up at 5 a.m. and doing whatever we need to do with doing the saver and things like that. We just create our system, and this system, hopefully, is a process where we can see ourselves and also we can grow and have an amazing, impossible goals to win the GOAT. Let's become a GOAT like Tom Brady, and let's try to do that. So yesterday was the first day when we started officially paying the 99 to school. So this is our first day officially there to become the GOAT, because that's what I want to win the GOAT game, the school game, which is the GOAT, the 1 million per month, and then if you get your MRR, you keep your MRI forever. Thinking of that goal, yesterday I went and checked all my social media from the smallest page book to how many followers I have, and I got 115,194. I check all of them, and I saw the Kajabi store that I used to. That still was in the link of the Facebook page. If you have a Facebook page, you can have a link with your website. And I went and put it on the 30 social media that I have, $150,000 just right now. You can post everything and goes to 115,000 if I do it in all the page one by one. And I get the link about of the school, check them out, all of them, to see exactly that is proven, and review it completely from X, TikTok, YouTube, all the pages of social media. I think I have 25 of them, 30 total are updated. I started the Kijabi, I think 5, 6 years ago. I abandoned it, didn't work, doesn't have the whole system. Put it there. I abandoned my most of the pages, and now I go and see every follower is important to prospecting. I become like a homo prospectus, like Selinger with this positive psychology, just to win the gold, just to be the gold, just to win the gold. Like Tom Brady, he was the best. He sacrificed himself for the team, even with his salary, even for his money, just to win the gold, just to win Super Bowl. Wherever you are, become like Tom Brady. Have your impossible goal, winning Super Bowls, and we are just winning the goats in schools, and that's our impossible goal. $1 million by December 31st. You have to do the same wherever you are. Make that impossible goal, and you see how you find innovative way to do it. I had never thought that I would be part of the 100 working to the 100 people with Hermosi team inside. I will be having super who's like the guy who created the school themselves, and that I will be seeing them and talking to the people inside. I have like 5, 10 people who are administrators. So I got inside. I looking for the best and finding the best strategy to make it happen. And I completely learned in 15 days and amazing deals of stuff that I'm applying, you know. And but anyway, I will speak more to you more about this in the Congress Monday. But I completely, just because of this, have a simple plan, have an impossible goal, and see what happens. So, Lawrence.
I think that's a great place to end it. Thank you, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.
All
Have a
right.
great day. Thank you.
Great day, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Blessed day.